Marc Freedman has a purpose. As managing partner and co-founder of Evolved Profits, he and his team have over 40 years of experience in helping businesses free up cash so that it can be reinvested into helping employees, growing the business, and creating positive social impact. He is a serial entrepreneur, CEO, and the best-selling author of Expense to Profit: Eliminate the Costs That Sabotage Your Growth. Marc loves helping companies create more profits while being an agent for change. This is his purpose, and in an effort to help more companies and more people, Marc, along with co-host Yanik Silver, author of Evolved Enterprise, bring you Profits with Purpose, a podcast that aims to do just that. On the show, Marc and Yanik talk to successful corporate decision makers, exploring valuable lessons learned, experiences in growing a company, ways to reduce expenses, and all the ways a company can have a positive social impact. Join us each week and get in on the discussion so we can all have more profits with purpose. And now, here's your host, Marc Freedman.
Welcome to another edition of Profits with Purpose. Today's guest is Rotem Eylor. Rotem is an entrepreneur, a forward thinker, and a hands-on CEO of Republic Floor, a top 10 manufacturer and distributor of SPC flooring services. Rotem has achieved success through hard work, dedication, and the right mindset. From his humble beginnings in a small desert city in Israel to his years in a tactical Israeli military unit to a top executive in the international diamond business and a founder of this rapidly growing manufacturing company, he has achieved success in many diverse different areas. Rotem, welcome to Profits with Purpose.
Thank you, Marc, for having me on the show.
So let's talk about your background and how you ended up from all these different iterations into the flooring business at Republic Floor.
Oh, that's a very long way, but in a nutshell, I came to the US in early, I would say 2003. I was working for a very big diamond company, international diamonds company, and I was relocated here, to be an executive in the US for the company. During the years, I got to know so many people and have so many experiences in what I do in diamonds. And coming into LA, I met my best friend, I would call it, that later became my partner in the flooring business. He had a flooring distribution company at the time. His name is Eli Shawat. He's the president of the company. I'm the CEO. We've been friends 10 years before we became partners. And at a certain point, he moved back to Israel and we said, why not doing the same company ourselves, but better this time. So I left what I did and we're running the company. He's from Israel, I'm from in the US. And here we are today, 7.5 years later.
Wow. So how does having a military background contribute to success in business?
I think big time. I just mentioned to you, but right before the interview, my kids are going to the Israeli Scouts. And the older one, Shaked, he's 17 years old. He was born here in the US, and he's going to go to the Israeli military next year for 3 years minimum. I didn't push him, but I'm happy that he decided to go over there because it's going to give him, I think, the same background and mindset that I have or people who go to the military have. It gives you, first of all, it gives you maturity. When you're 18 years old and you go directly to college, you have no idea. You have no idea where you're going to. Okay, you're going to go, study business or whatever it is. What do you know when you're 21? Nothing. So exactly. And when you go to the military, you have 3-4 years, and then those 3-4 years, you're going through so much, especially in Israel, in the Israeli military, and especially if you're doing a significant position in the army. And then you're going to travel the world, then you come back, and then there you go, you're 24, 23. I did my first business degree when I was 23, I want to say, or 24. I just started. I kind of knew I was working already. I knew what I want to do. I had that kind of life experience. And it makes you a different man. Let's call it like that. If I can say that in my diamond company, before the flooring business, all the executives in the company were Israelis. The thinking is just different. I'm not saying better, it's just different. That's it, you know. I think also, by the way, something about being in the military and leadership in the Israeli military, at least. That's the only experience I have in military, obviously. In the Israeli military is pretty much the only military in the world that the commander leads from the front and not from the back. You won't find, I think the Israeli military is either the highest or one of the highest casualties military for high-ranking officers. And the reason why, because the highest ranking officers are in the front and they're not sitting in the command room in the back with TVs and monitors and stuff like that. So, you know, it's saying basically to your guys, hey, I'm going to die. I'm willing to die for you and I'll die before you. Come after me. And they will go after you with their eyes shut. And that's the same way, same implementation in business, I believe. You know, you just go, you go first. I'll show you what to do. Today, you know, the company is growing so much today. The company we're running, but I still always say I'm the cleaning lady, I'm the sales guy, I'm doing everything. I'll do anything and everything. I will not ask anything of my guys to do that I don't do myself. So it's kind of the same leadership in a way.
Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise, right?
Absolutely. Not only that, it keeps you grounded. It keeps you like very close to the field, very close to everything. You're hands-on. You know, you're always ahead because you see yourself firsthand and not second or third hand. I mean, there are so many pluses in doing that. I think that a lot of people just losing sight of the target when they become too big or they become too important. Let's call it like that. There's not too important, right? But they just don't know. And that's how you become irrelevant, I think, in what you do in the market or anything in life, by the way.
So let's talk about your pivot from the diamond business to the flooring business, because they are two uniquely different commodities. Why from one to the other? And what was it that, I guess, what was the aha moment that made you say that, you know what, maybe we should make this pivot because this is an opportunity I think will be better than the other opportunity?
Okay, so two different routes, two different things. First of all, in diamonds, I've been 13 years, I would say. It was a long run over there. And I was working for a company. I was a high-ranking, VP, a very, top executive for the company. It's a very big company with 60-something, offices around the country. It's very easy to fall into that comfort trap. Let's call it like that.
Sure.
I was very well known in almost any country in the world in the diamond business. Just name, tens of countries. And then came this opportunity that it was a specific opportunity where my partner went back to Israel and he have sold his company, his other distribution company, flooring distribution company. And then it was like an intersection where we said, you know what, we can do another, and we were literally, remember, we're sitting and talking about, hey, we can do it differently. And then at that point I was 30, I was almost 40, I was 38, 37. And I was sitting and thinking, hold on, where do I want to be when I'm 50? Because in my mind, 50 was kind of like a big intersection in life. You know what I mean? At the time, big intersection in life. Like 50 for me, in my mind, you don't do new things at 50.
Not like, true.
I know. Today I know. But in my mind back then, when you're 30 something, you think. And then I remembered, it's funny. I always tell it to my wife and other people. I always, remember these cliche in movies that, when somebody's being let go of work, especially older people, they take their box on the table, they put the plant and everything in the box. And this is your residual from your 30 years in working. And I said, am I going to end up like that? By the way, a pivotal moment when I was much younger that got me to that thinking. When I was 22, 23 years old, I was working in the freight forwarding industry. I was working for one of the largest companies in Israel. And there was this one guy was pushing 60, I think. And in the company, he was the expert of the company on anything you want in freight forwarding and especially dangerous materials and a lot of special stuff. One day he was let go. And all of us were in shock. I was in shock because anything I needed, I would come to ask him. He was the guru of whatever. And then I asked the owner of the company, why was he let go? And he told me, oh, you think it's not going to happen to you when you're going to get to that age? I remember it till today. It was like pushing my mind all the time, all those years. And then that pivotal moment came when I had this opportunity to go. And then I'm thinking, where do I want to be when I'm 50? And it pushed me right away to that route. So that was the main thing. Another thing, by the way, was always in my mind, will my kids be proud of me? Always. So,
I hear you. So some might say that you've taken control of most means of production and distribution of your product, almost like a modern day Henry Ford. What made that a focus for you? And what are the challenges and why aren't more businesses built that way?
okay. So I didn't know a lot about the flooring industry when I came in. It was, like I said, it was an intersection. It's not that I had like many, industries to choose. And I said, oh, this one. It was an opportunity, but as I was scraping the surface to see, because I'm coming from the diamond industry. Diamond industry is a very unique industry in a way that you don't sell value. You sell a dream, you sell an illusion. You sell pretty much, you know what, let's simplify it. You sell a glass that you tell people that's worth $1 million. Somebody dug it in the ground, right? It wasn't a house. You had to put materials and buy land, right? Somebody dug it from the ground. It came from, yeah. So you need to do a very, very unique marketing to get it. Diamonds are forever, belongs to De Beers. It's like, people remember it till today. So I came to the flooring industry and I was thinking, what's missing? What the voids? And then I found an industry that is a very old and traditional industry. And older average age people in the industry, I would say 55 and up, I would say the majority. And a low tech in a way of marketing and the way they think. And the sentence that came every single time around, oh, that's the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
And music to my ears, this kind of sentence. I came and me and my partner were looking for ways of, okay, what are the voids? What can we change? What can we do better? To make a point, we didn't take almost any employee from the industry. I wanted all the benchmarks to be from the outside. Like I came from the outside. All our people are coming from outside. My best salesperson was a welder. My brother, by the way, which was in completely different industries today, the director of business development, the company in charge of like new developments and new markets in the company. So we took a lot of benchmarks from outside of the industry, and we were looking what's missing. If I want to buy floors, what would I miss? And then I'll give you one example, for instance. One of the largest companies in the industry is Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries is a Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway industry, a company. And we found out that, and they sell like almost every single flooring store in America have their display. It's a must. And, one of the things was, when you go to a store, you say, oh, out of, let's say 300 colors, I like this color. I want this color. When can I have 3,000 square feet to my house? And then the store will tell you, okay, let me call Shaw. They call Shaw, or it could be any other company, right? And they tell them, oh, it can be delivered in between 10 and 14 business days. Okay. It's always been done that way, right? No. So we decided to develop a big distribution arm, a very big one, which is very costly. You need to know the know-how what we build it. In a way that in every distribution center, for instance, that we have, we carry 100% of our inventory of our material. It costs a lot of money. You need a lot of floor space. You need to be close to your delivery areas. You need to have a big distribution arm with a lot of trucks and tractor trailers and everything. You really need to have your own logistics company in a way. Okay, not in a way, in reality. So we did that. In my mind, I took the Amazon Prime business model, second day delivery. We made it next day delivery. So pretty much every store in every distribution area, any product that you have, you order by 5 p.m., you get it next morning. So we changed completely right away, almost overnight, the paradigm of the way of doing business in America. Number one. Number two, the market works, by the way, not only in flooring, almost in any industry in America. By the way, in cars also, but almost in any industry, you have distributors, right? So you have the manufacturer, and then you have distributors. And those are classic distributors. And the market always been worked in a way that kind of a way with a classic distributor, I call it. What is a classic distributor? In our business and many other businesses, a distributor will carry Republic, he will carry Shaw, he will carry Marc, he'll carry like different 4, 5, 6, 7 brands, and he will distribute them. What's the downside? The downside is that me as a manufacturer, I don't control that distributor, the value, the service. For sure, cannot be profitable. He needs to make a profit also, right? And I cannot control the outcome. I cannot control what I want to give. I want to control and give the same shopping experience or experience of value to the end user in every single point in the country and worldwide, by the way. They'll have exactly the same experience. And by having distributors, I can't do that. So we decided to open direct distribution centers all around the country. I believe we're the only company right now doing that. We were the first company for sure. And we're not there yet 100% in all over the country, but we're well on our way. In 5 years, we'll be all around, all over. And we did the same move, by the way, internationally. We're the only in the first international distributor. So only this year we opened Israel, a very big distribution center, and we opened in Germany in May 1st, a very big distribution center. So it's kind of like we're making a move in the US and internationally. So we changed. Those are kind of few of the major. I have a lot of other examples, but those are one of the major ones.
So it sounds to me like your business is kind of a Tesla type business, where it's direct to consumer, where there's no middleman in the way. So the experience from the very beginning to the very end is your experience, the way you want it to be delivered, without somebody possibly getting in the middle and mess that up with a client or participant.
Yes, not directly to the end user. We sell it directly to the stores. The stores are selling it to the end user. So we don't have stores of our own. We have distribution centers. So for instance, in LA, I'll have a distribution center and I'll deliver to 1,000 stores from here. Another thing we've done, by the way, which was very important to us, luckily we did it before the pandemic, is yes, we wanted to control almost everything we do along the way. Anything from designing our own designs of flooring, because in the market today, 99.9% of the companies, they buy public designs, what's called. If you're a factory that's design of papers, of laminate, or whatever, you can sell it to 1,000 companies. So basically, you come to a market and 20 companies can have the same color. Think about it that you're a Tesla 3 manufacturer, and then you have another, and you sell it to another 20 companies. Now everybody competing, selling Teslas, right? Same idea. So same thing here. So we decided to control everything, anywhere from designing our own paper, our own designs, manufacturing facilities. We own our own logistics fleet. We distribute our own raw materials, by the way. We get them ourselves. We don't buy them from other companies. And then, obviously distributing it all the way to the stores. One thing we've done, for instance, backlogging, everybody talking about big backlogs on the ports and containers and all of that. So before the pandemic, we've done it, not because we knew the pandemic is coming, but we did it because we wanted to make sure that we have a constant flow of containers. So we don't really work only with freight forwarders, bringing containers. We came to the ocean liners, like, the big ones, like Marc, China Shipping. And then we told them, hey, let's make a direct deal. We'll give you a commitment of X amount of containers a year, and you'll give us a guaranteed date that those containers going on the ship. So it's kind of where we hedged basically our risk with containers. We have containers coming on time all the time. Another thing we've done, we don't use a third-party company to bring containers from the port to our offices. We use our own tractor trailers. We cut all the middlemen along the way. We do everything ourselves. So not only that we bring our own containers, the problem in the port since the pandemic started, yes, you can get a container from the port, but you don't have wheels to put them on, a chassis to put the container on. Everybody hogging. So we bought a big fleet before the pandemic started of chassis for the containers. So it's funny, I say that aside of owning the container ship, we own everything along the way. We didn't do it from a point of view of cutting costs. We did it from a point of view of controlling the process. Along the way, obviously, we're cutting costs. And we're, by the way, we're a value company. We give it back, to the stores every single time. We save money. We don't keep it in our pockets. We either upgrading our products or just, giving a better price to our customers, always.
Interesting. So let's talk about the giving back, as long as you mentioned it. And I know there was one really interesting piece of news that we saw, and I just want to address that, and then we can talk about other things too. But you recently donated $100,000 to one of your employees who volunteered to fight for the war in Ukraine. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So I don't want to talk about money. The money over there, the sum was a little bit different, but it was like significantly high amount. So we have an office, or we had at least before the invasion, office in Kiev. And first and foremost, we let our personnel over there volunteer to whatever they need to for their country, and we keep paying them their salaries. So today they're pretty much in their country, helping local defenders with republics, basically paying them salaries to do that. So they have a safety and secured environment to work. On top of that, we donate on regular basis. We donate monies and funds for equipment for local defenders. And when I say local defenders, it's not even the military. It's like civilians who defend their cities from the Russian invasion. So whether it's going to be walkie-talkies, whether it's going to be vests to protect them from bullets, whether it's going to be medicine, and anything that they need. So it was important part to do that for us, and we do it still on regular basis.
Wow, that's pretty significant. That's what Profits with Purpose is all about, is giving back and creating a higher purpose and creating impact in the world. Anything else that your company's doing from a social impact standpoint?
Definitely. So for instance, so we donate to different, bodies and nonprofit organizations. It could be, organizations we believe in, and it could be organizations that come to us and we decide to donate. And those are significant amounts every year. But I think one of the main things we're doing, we're manufacturers of engineered wood floors also, a very big manufacturer. And on every single box we sell of engineered floors, we, together with our partners, our factories, we planted a new tree. So for every box, that's a lot. For every one box, we plant a tree. So it's a very important and significant, I would say, investment for the future. But what we definitely believe in it.
Great. I noticed your logo. Tell us about your logo, because I've been trying to look. I Googled everything in the world and I couldn't figure out, where is this logo of this elephant in the circle coming from?
I'll tell you, it's so funny, because every person have, it was a simple decision. I'll tell you about it in a second, but every person have its own interpretation for that logo. Everybody is asking me for the logo. What is that logo? Why is that? That logo basically came, first of all, I like elephants. I like animals, first of all. I have two Great Danes right next to me. This is, if you can see, that's Clover right there. And Harley's out. So I have two big horses in my house. But so we love animals, but an elephant is an animal I always like. But in my mind was, our floors are so strong that an elephant can walk on them. And that was the initial. But every place I go, so I live in California, we started here, and I started to go into stores, and they told me, and then elephant, and the company name is Republic, and people say, "Are you guys Republicans?" And I never thought about it, right? Republicans, elephant. And then I went into Texas. We opened in Houston and said, "Oh my God, you're Republicans!" Accepted us. We open arms, and I just don't say anything. And then I sell it to, we have a big Indian community that buy from us. I don't know if you know, but the largest ethnic group that owns hotels and motels are Indians, and we work with a lot of them. And they say, "Oh my God, elephant! This is in our culture, it's for good luck. This is good luck for us." So it's like every person have his own interpretation. And it's funny because, first of all, I learned things along the way, and it's interesting, Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. That's great. I love it. What a great story. So here's one of my favorite questions I like to ask. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given and by whom?
Okay. It's a piece of advice I always follow since I was young age. Follow your passion, not the money. Money will always follow your passion. I often see a lot of people, till today, by the way, friends of mine and people I know that, they always look, oh, where's the money? Oh, where can I do a lot of money? Oh, in this industry. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can. And they go to so many things that they don't like. It's not their passion. And they go for the wrong reason, absolutely the wrong reasons for the money. Because if your heart is not there, you're never going to make it. You know what I mean? You must have passion to what you do.
Sure.
And I see those people over and over, people who go for the money specifically, they never make it. Very rarely you see somebody who went only for the money and really made it. Okay, I'm not talking about somebody, a billionaire who invested in a startup and made it. I'm talking about something that's yours, that you do yourself. Who told it to me? You know what? I can't remember. That was so many years ago, but somebody told it to me. And since then, I just take it, I embrace it. One of the reasons why, by the way, why our company, because we're a young company, we're only 7.5 years old. We're already the 10th largest manufacturer and distributor of flooring in North America. Okay, it's a very old industry. We're talking about companies who are 150 years old that we're competing with. And one of the reasons, a lot of people ask me, why you? What's special about you guys? Why? How 7.5 years that 50,000 importers of flooring to America? Why you? And it all connects to passion. It's all our people have big hearts. I still involved in almost every hiring we do for the company. And the first thing I want to see with every person that comes in, I want to see his heart. I don't care about his experience. I don't care that he comes to me and tell me, oh, I have 30 years experience in this and that. I don't care about that. I care about the heart. I want to see the heart beating. I want to see the guy come, or that person comes, take his heart out, put it on the table, and I want to see this heart beating, and I want to see the blood flowing from it. I want to see a real heart. So we all have real hearts in the company, and that's why we all care. We all have passion to what we do. So this is it.
Wow, cool. Is there anything I haven't mentioned that you want to touch on?
Not really. I mean, a lot of people ask me, first of all, we have a lot of companies want to buy us all the time, especially the big ones, the big competitors all the time, we're big market disruptors. And a lot of people ask us, what's your end goal? So there is no end goal. There was no end goal. We didn't know when we opened the company day one where we're going to go with it. We said, okay, let's do something good. Let's do something great. Let's do it the best that we can. But we didn't have a plan. Okay, we're going to conquer the world in 2055, So the end goal is that we wake up every morning to an exciting morning, that we have new ideas. Hey, and one thing leads to hey, let's do this and let's do that. And this and that leads to another thing. And then leads to another thing. So the end goal is the excitement, and to do new things and better things and bigger things that never been done before in our industry. So, and as long as we enjoy it and we like it and we have the passion for it, we'll continue.
Wow, pretty cool. We'll have this in the show notes, but if listeners want to go and learn more about you or get in contact with you, how would they do that?
So republicfloor.com. This is our website. It's the best place to see what we do, what we carry, read a little bit about us, and contact us, obviously. So this is it.
Cool. Great. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Another great edition of Profits with Purpose, about companies who are really giving back and making a difference in the world. Thank you, Rotem.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Profits with Purpose. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you are interested in reducing the expenses of your business, creating positive social impact, or contributing to the show, reach out to Marc or Yanik with Evolved Profits by emailing podcast@evolvedprofits.com or visiting the website www.evolvedprofits.com.